Hello and welcome to the Get Unstuck series, which has had a little bit of a hiatus for a while, but it's coming back and I'm going to be doing my regular lives on various career topics, which are always going to be short, around 15 minutes, practical with actions to take away, and always helpful around job search, career change, and career confidence and success. This is a kind of very impromptu live. I haven't advertised this one. So if you are surprisingly here with me, do let me know. Do say hello in the comments. Or if you're watching on replay, do say hello. And if you've got questions, pop them in the chat and I will do my best to come back and answer them. So if you don't know me, I am Sarah Archer and I am a career leadership and success coach for women. I predominantly work with women who are mid to senior in their career to help them have more confidence, more success, and more happiness in their careers. And one of the things I'm going to be talking about today is career change, because I do a lot of work with people around career change and finding something different that's going to give people joy, meaning, success, fulfillment, all those great things that make us want to go to work in the morning. So what I thought I would do is just talk you through 4 questions to ask yourself before you start the career change process, just to help you get real kind of clarity about what it is you want to change to help you make your career change or your job change more successful. So there are 4 very straightforward questions, which I'm going to talk about, because it's complicated when you're thinking about career change, and you can often feel very stuck, very alone, very unhappy, even kind of, in a place where you just hate what you do. And you know that something's got to change, but you don't know what it is. And that can feel quite paralyzing. So I wanted to share these questions to help you take those first steps around moving forward with whatever that change is going to be. And I've changed career as well, so I know what it's like. So it was about 15 years ago now, but I have changed career, and I know, when you're in that place, it is frustrating because you want to move forward, but you don't know quite how to do that. So the first question to ask yourself is, what is driving my career change? Because often when we're kind of unhappy or something's not working in our career, we kind of feel like everything's got to change. And it's not always the case. So it's definitely worth just understanding, okay, what is causing that sense of frustration or unhappiness in my career, and doing that sort of forensic thinking around what is going on that's causing these feelings. Is going to be really useful at knowing then what to change. So you want to explore what's going on. So it could be thinking about your actual job and what are you actually doing? What are the elements that are causing you unhappiness? So is it there's been a sort of shift in terms of the workload, and now you're spending more time doing the things that you least enjoy and less time on things that you really enjoy? Or is it overwhelm? Is it just too much? Do you feel kind of completely overloaded? Or have you just kind of, I don't know, learned everything you can in the job? Has it just got no sort of stretch for you? So really understanding what is going on in the actual job that you're doing and what's causing that sense of dissatisfaction. And then thinking about, what's going on in the company. Is it sort of things that are kind of outside of your control that are causing that dissatisfaction? So has the direction of the company changed? Is it kind of moving in a way that you don't feel aligned to anymore? Or has the culture shifted and you don't feel aligned to the culture anymore? Does it not share the same values? Has it changed, or have you changed in terms of that value base? Has there been a change of leadership and you just don't feel that leadership is kind of going in the direction that you want to go in, and that's creating that sense of dissatisfaction? So really understanding what are the elements within the kind of wider piece, the organisation, that might be contributing to how you're feeling. And then we want to get a bit closer to home. So thinking about, is it your boss? Because there are some stats, I don't know where these came from, but it's something like 70% of people leave their boss, not their jobs. So that boss employee relationship is really important. So thinking about, okay, is my boss a micromanager? Are they disinterested in me? Do they not give me any feedback? Do I not feel valued? Are they not challenging me? So what is going on in terms of that boss employee relationship? Is that the crux of why you're unhappy? Or is it the kind of team that you're in, the colleagues that you work with? Do you feel like you've got nothing in common with them? Do you feel a bit like a square peg in a round hole within your team? So just really understanding, is it something circumstantial that's causing this dissatisfaction? Or are you needing that stretch? Are you kind of bumping up against your boss? Are you kind of ready for that next level? Or you're kind of being, your potential's being kind of squashed, that's causing that sense of dissatisfaction? Or is it a combination of all those things? Because it could be elements of all of those that are really causing that dissatisfaction. And then when you've answered that, when you've done that kind of forensic drilling down into what's going on, you are then in a much better place to answer the question, what needs to change? Because being clear about that will help you understand how big of a shift you need to make. So, for example, I worked with somebody a few years ago she was a head of marketing in a tech firm, and she came to me because she was really, really unhappy doing what she was doing, and she thought she needed to change career completely. When we unpacked it all, it turned out that actually there were other elements at play. So she didn't feel passion for the product, so she wasn't into tech at all, really. She couldn't connect with what they were trying to do as an organization. Her boss was not a marketeer, he was tech. Her colleagues were mostly tech. She had no one to be creative with, to kind of bounce ideas around with. And the piece of marketing that she really, really loved was branding. And she wasn't able to do any kind of branding work in her current role. And so what she could see, and she was quite relieved, was that she didn't need to change career. She needed to change sector and organization type. And so she went on and made a career shift into an organization working in the heritage sector that she felt much more aligned to. And she was doing more branding work and working within a team of marketeers. So she had that kind of creative bouncing around of ideas, and also able to work on an area of her profession that she really engaged with and loved. So just because you're unhappy, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's got to be a career change, which is why it's really important to answer that first question: what is driving my desire to change career? So then our second question, which is also super important, is how will I know what makes me happy at work? Because what we don't want to do is take that sense of dissatisfaction from our current job, change sector or change career, and take it with us into that next job or career. So it's really important to understand what will make me happy, so that you can also factor that into whatever change you're going to make. So it's definitely worth doing an audit of your current job and thinking about, what are the things that I really love and that I really enjoy doing in my current role, and then notice what's missing. So what are the things that would make it even better? What are the things that I don't get to do that maybe I used to get to do that I want to do again? Or what haven't I had the chance to do that I want to do again? So that you can be really clear about what you need in the next role. Then you can make a list of all the things that you want to have in that next role. You might then work out what's the non-negotiables, but having a list will make it easier for you to assess what's going to be right or wrong in your next career move. And that can include practical things like location, salary, whether it's going to be flexible working, all of those kind of things, but also the things around what gives me stretch, growth, what do I love, all of those elements. So you're really clear about what the next role has got to have. Sorry, my dog's started barking. So then question 3 is, where do I want to be in 3 years' time? Say, roughly. It doesn't have to be 3 years, but having a sense of where you want to be a bit more longer term in your career will help you with your short-term decision making. Sometimes when you're really dissatisfied with your career and really unhappy in what you're doing, you're very much focused on what's going to be the next move, a short-term solution to your current situation. But it's worth spending time thinking about your career vision and where you want to be, because that will help you make a better choice around the short-term move. Because your longer term you need to be kind of thinking about something that's going to have longevity for you. And I don't mean longevity in terms of job security or the organization having longevity, although those could be important too. But it's about your potential. So seeing that your choice of career or next job is going to take you closer to your meeting your longer term potential. So it's got stretch, it's got growth, it's got financial growth, so that you can see, actually, I'm not going to get stuck in the next role. So doing a bit of visioning around what you want for your career in the longer term is really powerful. And there's lots and lots of different ways that you can access career visioning, but it's super, super important. And I do remember one of my clients on my group program, which is my 8-week program to enable career success. When we did the visioning piece, she had just such a powerful vision of what she wanted in her career. It wasn't about naming job titles. It was just the kind of elements that she wanted to have in her career, that it was just really, really powerful in terms of enabling her to plan out her career, be patient about finding the right role that was going to take her closer to the longer term vision, and make the right career decisions for her. So don't underestimate thinking about, what do I want in the longer term? That then brings me on to question 4, which is, can I afford to change career? Because sometimes career change can involve a financial cost. So it might be that it's a cost around training or qualifications, not always, but it might be. It could be a cost around, I need to take time out or work shorter hours so that I can access experience that's going to position me for my career change. Or it might be, actually, I need to take some time out because maybe you've been burnt out or exhausted in your current career and you need to spend some time recharging before you embark on your new career. Or in some instances, it can involve a pay cut to take the kind of career that you want to have, which obviously, if you're taking a pay cut, you need to think about the potential financial earnings so you can fast track in your new career. But all of those things can get in the way of your career change. So you might feel, oh God, I just can't afford it. But you don't want to stay in a career that's a good paying career, but actually you really hate it and it's making you unhappy. So you don't want the financials to be the drivers. Obviously, financials are important, but you don't want them to be the drivers around your career change. So that's why asking the question, can I afford it, will allow you to think about maybe what kind of financial planning I need to make to enable my career change. So that might be thinking, okay, well, maybe I need a 3-month or a 6-month buffer financially. Let me think about what I could either save, which is obviously challenging in the current climate, but what could I save? What economies could I make to enable myself to save a buffer for myself? Or can I generate additional income either in my current career somehow, or can I start a side hustle that's going to enable me to generate additional income to create a financial buffer for my career change, so that you are allowing yourself, you're giving yourself permission to make that career change, because you know financially you've got a little bit of leeway there. So I had another client who, she knew what she wanted to change her career to, but she knew that initially it wouldn't earn a huge amount for her. So she actually took quite a long-term strategic view, and she decided she was going to have a 2-year period of saving to allow herself to create this kind of financial pot for her career change. Now, she was lucky. She worked in financial services and investments, so she was able to make some quite shrewd investments for herself to allow that career change to happen, because she was going to go and work in the holistic field, which, you know, obviously was not going to be comparable in any way to her financial services career. So for her to make that transition, she needed to create financial security for herself. So it's just really thinking about what are the financial implications for me? You know, what could they be, and how can I plan for that? So those are the 4 questions to think about. So they are, what's driving my career change? What what will make me happy in my next role, where do I want to be in the longer term, how can I fund my career change. So let me know if you've got other questions that you think are important, or how you're getting on with those questions. And obviously do message me if you need any support around your career change. I've worked with career changes for 15 years, so I've got a lot of experience supporting people through career change. And I will be back to do another live around careers, career success, confidence over the coming weeks. Have a great rest of the week, and I will see you soon.